Excellent.
Hi everybody, I'm Bill Russell. I'm the Associate Dean International at the School of Business at the University of Dundee. Today we're very lucky to have Jane Towers-Clarke from ACCA to talk to us. Jane, can you start just by saying a little bit about yourself, what your role is, and how did you end up working for ACCA?
Yeah, great to be with you here today, Bill. I'm Jane Towers-Clarke, Head of Academic Partnerships at ACCA. And in terms of what that means I sort of centrally work with ACCA to support partnerships with universities globally. So I work with lots of markets across the globe to talk with them about how to engage with universities, what to do with universities, all those sorts of things. So any element to do with universities, centrally, I'm very happy to support our ACCA team and people across the globe. In terms of how I sort of got here, my training was as an accountant. So obviously ACCA is a professional accountancy body, Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. And I trained as a professional accountant with Ernst & Young in London, and then moved, once I'd done about 6 years with them and qualified and everything, I moved across to Singapore and then on to Australia and moved into higher education and working over there. So ended up back in the UK and eventually at Oxford Brookes University as head of the Accounting, Finance and Economics Department at Oxford Brookes University. One of the partnerships that ACCA has globally is with Oxford Brookes University for a BSc Applied Accounting. So what I did then was move across from Oxford Brookes University to ACCA, and I've been with ACCA now 5 years.
Okay, so you've gone a circuitous route. So the University of Dundee has a long history of a relationship with ACCA because of the BAc in accountancy, which is our undergraduate degree, and that's gone back for many years. More recently, we have accreditation with ACCA for the MSc Professional Accountancy, which is the program which we're talking about today. Now, I've had to have a slight refresher already about the papers which are. So ACCA provides accreditation to the program, which means 9 paper exemptions. Now, can you explain the 9 papers exemptions, and then we can talk about the remaining papers that need to be done to get full paper certification with ACCA?
Yeah, very happy to, Bill. So ACCA, the total qualification in terms of exams is made up of 14 papers. You've got the first 3 papers, which are the applied skills papers. You've then got 6, applied knowledge papers. That's a good start, isn't it? You've then got the 6 applied skills papers, which total the 9 that you could potentially get exemptions for, and that's the maximum exemptions anyone can achieve. Students then go on to undertake their strategic professional exams, and they must have completed or got exemptions for all those first 9 papers, so applied knowledge and applied skills papers, before they go on to do their strategic professional papers. So in terms of sort of what they need to do in a strategic professional level, there are 2 compulsory exams that they need to do, which is strategic business reporting and strategic business leader. And then they have a choice of 2 of 4 options. That's really to help them to have the opportunity to specialise in set of areas that they might be looking at to go through with employment. So we're talking about areas like advanced tax, advanced audit and assurance, advanced performance management and advanced financial management. So you have a choice of 2 of those 4 papers. Once you've completed those strategic professional papers, you've completed all the exams element of ACCA's qualification. So
there's a little bit of specialisation in those last 4 papers, exactly. 2 compulsory and 2 out of 4. So let's talk the way through for the student. So a student that's on the MSc Professional Accountancy program will end their 1-year masters by getting the master's degree. They will have the 9 paper exemptions. These are the applied knowledge and skills papers.
Yep.
And then if they want to go forward and become certified chartered accountants with ACCA,
yep.
How do they go forward for the last papers? And then what are the requirements to become a certified chartered accountant?
Yeah, okay. So they would obviously be registered with ACCA as a student. They would claim their exemptions having left university. So they would have completed and gained their degree And once they've gained their degree, they're eligible for those exemptions and they can apply for those exemptions through ACCA. They then obviously would be registered with ACCA and then be taking that next set of exams. In terms of what sort of next, and they could do that either as self-study or they could do that whilst they're in employment. And it could be that their employer would pay for their exams for that, you know, depending on the contract that they have. What we recommend before they start those strategic professional exams is that we have an ethics and professional skills module. As you can imagine, for accountants, ethics and professional skills is an absolute core thing of being an accountant. So they really need to do that as part of their ACCA qualification. And actually the ethics and professional skills module that we have helps towards those strategic professional exams. So we recommend that they do it at that stage. So it's a self-study item that they undertake, so that they can undertake at any time, and we recommend they do that. Then they do their papers. Again, the order that they take their papers is really up to them, and it'll be up to the student as to what works best for them in the situation that they're in. So what would be the best papers to take? So they undertake their exams, they undertake their ethics and professional skills module, and obviously part of being an accountant is actually doing it. So they have to have their practical experience requirement, and that's a 3-year requirement build. Now, what they could have done if they've done any sort of internships and things before they graduate, that can contribute depending on how relevant the experience is. But all of that together, so we call it the 3 E's: exams, experience, and ethics. All of those together contribute to being a qualified accountant, becoming an ACCA member. So you become affiliate before you become a member. An affiliate is where you've completed your exams. The membership is your exams, ethics, and your experience. So all of that combined means that you become a member.
So you finish the master's program, you claim your 9 exemptions from the 9 papers.
Yep.
You then can go on and do the ethics paper, which needs to be done to be fully certified eventually. So you might as well do it before the compulsory and the optional strategic professional papers. You do those, and then you're paper qualified. And then the last stage is you need 3 years experience, which you then have to write up in a document or something. Is that what happens?
Yeah, exactly. So you have your practical experience requirement, which you'd be recording, exactly. And you have a supervisor for that. So you have a recognised supervisor for that. So that element, as I say, can be built up during, you know, the time that you're working. It could be whilst you're at university if you've done an internship or a placement, for example.
And also, it's an amazing signal to your employer that you are 9 papers exempt and you have started on the professional papers. It's a very strong signal to your employer about your intent, and increases the likelihood that they're going to support you as you go forward.
Absolutely. So you come to the employer with a set of exams that you've completed, you're part way through, you've got your exemptions. And yeah, absolutely. I think by then you've shown, having done your master's in professional accountancy and obviously got your exemptions, that you're really committed to becoming an accountant. Obviously important for an employer who's taking you on.
So my understanding, and I think it is correct, is that ACCA is the premier world or global professional body for accountants. That would be true, wouldn't it?
I would say so, absolutely, Bill. Yeah, so we say that we're the world's most forward-thinking professional accountancy body. We believe that accountancy is vital for economies to grow and prosper. We have 233,000 fully qualified members and 536,000 future members globally. So we have an amazing sort of reach, Bill, right across the globe. And we do a huge amount of professional insights into making sure that we are forward thinking and really thinking about the future and what's happening in accounting and the important things at the moment that are highly relevant for accountants, you know, things like sustainability at the moment, Bill, and net zero, and all those sorts of things. Really,
so that thinking about the issues of accounting are incredibly important because they're fed into our programs. So our programs don't stay static, they're constantly evolving for all sorts of reasons, but one of the reasons is the feedback that's coming from ACCA about how the program should improve to make sure that you've got the skills for the future. But the point I guess I'm making about ACCA is that it's a global body. So the professional accountants bodies around the world, there's an awful lot of them which are just focused on the country, and there's only a few which are focused on the world. And I would have argued from the outside as somebody that would say that ACCA was the premier professional body on a global stage. Which means that if you want to move between countries, it's made easier. If you want to be in the job market writ big, which is for the whole world, then ACCA would be the professional qualification that you should be seeking. Whereabouts in the world, though, is ACCA particularly strong? I know it's got a very big presence in China, yeah, and in India. What other particular areas is it very strong?
So it is very much a global organisation, Bill. So, you know, it does
be
cover
everywhere.
all areas. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously strong in the UK, where yes, we started, you know, very strong there. Very strong presence across Southeast Asia, you know, sort of Singapore, Malaysia, all those areas. As you mentioned, a very strong presence in China, India, Pakistan, United Arab Emirates. So really sort of right across the globe, we have members literally everywhere across the globe. So and students. So we're supporting students, and we have a sort of offices across the globe as well. So and obviously as you'll appreciate, you know, international financial reporting standard, international standards for auditing, all those things are incorporated into our qualification. So very much seen as an international qualification. We do a lot of work on skills development. We've got Career Navigator, which really looks at how you can navigate your way through different jobs through the skills that you develop. And something we work a lot on is looking at that and thinking about what skills we need to include. You know, professional skills should be included. What are employers looking for? We do a lot of sort of survey work and follow up on surveys and reports that come out of that to really make sure that we understand what employers are wanting from the students and from the qualification that they have. And then, of course, supporting them once they become members so that they remain relevant. So you know, you have all your training, but it's really important, as you'll know, as a professional accountant, that your CPD is up to date, that you're making sure that you've always got those skills and are looking forward and thinking about what's going to be there for the future and making sure that you're keeping yourself relevant.
So you've actually gone into my next question, which is the benefits to the students of ACCA membership. Any other areas? You're helping them with their own personal development. You're helping them with finding employment. You're helping them in general with their careers. Anything else that you could see in the...
Yeah, I mean, the career side, just going back to that is really important. We have a fantastic ACCA careers, which is a sort of global network of jobs that you can apply through. So you can access ACCA careers online, and then you can look at all the jobs that are available everywhere. And that really shows you the reach that we've got. I think we've got fantastic networking as well, you know, because you've got this membership base and linking people together, we've got really good networking for that. So I think that is excellent. We've got very good CPD, so that learning side and making sure that you've got that in ACCA learning. You know, bringing out new certificates that people do, you know, data analytics, those sorts of things. We're looking at fintech at the moment. So I think the insights that you can get from ACCA as a member, and you get all this information provided to you and the insights provided to you, as I say, are great networking opportunities as well, in country, but globally as well, Bill. So sort of, I think both elements, and the ability to sort of move and transfer across borders as well with your qualification, because it's recognised in other countries.
I talk to students a lot about missing information. And the missing information is often about who you are and what your skills are. And the way that we overcome that missing information is that we have a degree from a university with a grading on it. And these are all signals to your employers about who you are. And I think one of the incredibly powerful signals to employers about who you are, for accountants anyway, is to be ACCA qualified. And so all of those stages going through are an indication of intent to your employer, but also when you achieve them, you've got a sort of an independent verification of what your skills are. And so it reduces the uncertainty of the employers, therefore it improves your employment possibilities as you go forward. So ACCA, I just think is incredibly special organisation in people's lives. You know, we make it all about business, but in fact it's about lives, evolving careers, and everything that supports, businesses, people, families, and everything else as we go forward. So ACCA is, you know, fabulous and wonderful in my book.
Oh, thank you. I have to say that, you know, what we see ourselves as a force for public good, and I think that sort of really kind of summarises what we seek to be, you know, and our commitment to being a force for public good, and you know, subscribing to the UN SDGs and all those sorts of things, and really kind of like to think that gives a really good ethos for all our students, affiliates and members who are part of our sort of family. Yeah.
It's excellent. Listen, thank you very much, Jane, for taking the time today. You're fabulous and wonderful as well. And hopefully we see you again sometime in the future.
Thank you so much, Bill. It's been a pleasure to be with you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.